Hey Matt, how you doing, brother?
Good, brother. How are you?
I'm doing good. How's been the day so far?
It's been good, thanks, man. We've been driving across America.
Right, so from New Zealand to America, it's like, I mean, how long does it take you guys in general to travel all the way to States?
It's a pretty long plane flight. It's about 17 hours
Oh
from
man.
Auckland, New Zealand, and that gets you to the west coast, and then we travel around in a tour bus. So we do a lot of driving.
That's really awesome. Now you just have few weeks left for the release of the new album Awaken the Fire, which is releasing in Europe and it's already out in States. So how excited is the band right now looking at, the fan base you guys have established over the world?
Oh man, we're really excited. It's like a dream come true for us to have our music released in America and to have it just about to be released in Europe. No,
Hmm.
it's absolutely a dream come true.
That's awesome. Now, how have the fans responded to this album since the album, has released in States?
Honestly, the fan response has been amazing. we
Awesome.
my brothers and I, we wrote and recorded and produced the album ourselves.
Hmm.
So it's kind of been our baby over the last 6 months,
Right.
and to have it be released and to have people respond to it so positively has been awesome.
That's really cool. Why has there been a gap? I mean, it's releasing on March third week in Europe and in States it released on 24th. Why that almost 4 weeks gap in between the release?
I'm not sure why the wait was, but it works out really well because we're actually going to be touring Europe with Black Veil Brides when
Hmm.
our album comes out there. So the timing of it actually works out really great.
Now that's really awesome. Now listening to the album made me feel like it's something which is like what we say as an old wine in a new bottle. It's got that dirty South bluesy feel, which sounds looks fresh and intriguing. Are you guys happy with the outcome for this album?
Yeah, we are. Thanks, man. I mean, it's exactly the kind of record that we wanted to make. My brothers and I had a vision for making an album that really covered all the different kinds of music that we like to play. Everything from hard rock right through to ordinary, which is an acoustic ballad,
Right.
and we were also able to incorporate. Sorry,
Oh, no
we were
problem.
also we were able to incorporate the didgeridoo, which we love, and also incorporate Delta blues with Wish You Hell. So for us musically, we got to make exactly the kind of album that we wanted to make.
That's absolutely true. Now you guys are on a new label. I mean, early in your career, getting signed to something like another Century, which is nothing but Century Media in general. So was it an intention for the label, let's say, to choose your most popular songs, remaster them, and let's say looking at your loyal fan base all around the world, they might have had this plan of presenting Like a Storm to a whole new audience. It's more like how like it's like a resume or a portfolio that you don't show everything but you show the best content.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's a great way to put it. I mean, one of the things that was really exciting for us about signing with Century Media is that they were able to take this music that we'd worked so hard on
Hmm.
and release it all over America, release it all over Europe, in Australia. So for us as a band, that was really exciting to think that this album that we'd worked so hard on would
Right.
be released all over the world.
It sounds really good, and Chaos Man is the perfect beginner. I mean it's like I felt like I got tossed right into the fray. I mean it's just got that sonic guitar blast to my eardrums, and then the lyrical concept is really really good. So was that something you guys wanted to make sure your fans get that pump right in the beginning of an album?
Yeah. I mean, when we first started working on Chaos,
Mm-hmm.
it started out as this like super heavy, almost like industrial sounding guitar riff that I used to play. Actually, when we were out on tour with Alter Bridge, I used to play it at Soundcheck. And when we got back from tour and started working on it, we thought it would be awesome to pair up a really heavy rock riff with didgeridoo, you know. And it just came together sounding so heavy, and the lyrical concept kind of grew out of that, and we just thought it would be like the most awesome way to start our new album.
Fantastic. Now another track, Ordinary. I mean, I've been waiting for years for this track to be released. I mean, and now that the final version is already out, your vocals are extremely haunting on this track. I have to say that.
Oh, thank you, man. Thank you. It's funny because as a singer, it's kind of like when you do a song that is really just based around of guitar and strings, you kind of feel like you either have a chance to show what you're made of, or you're just going to die out there.
Right.
So it was a really cool challenge, and it was a lot of fun to make a song that was so sparse and try and make it as powerful as the rest of the album, you know?
Absolutely. I mean, when I listen to like there's a track, Break Free, and I listen to the previous version and now I listen to this, it's really cool to see how those subtle changes to the song actually made me go back and listen to the song many times just to figure out what change you made. And then it was more like a fresher breath air for me. So that was something I was like, oh, these guys have done a great job on this track.
Ah, thanks, man. Yeah, it was cool to go back and revisit them and have the whole album remastered, and it's just it's been a really exciting process, and it's really exciting that those new versions are what everyone's getting to hear.
Yeah, absolutely true. Now, getting back to your first album, I mean, it was the end of the beginning, to be honest, was more like an enjoyable ride, but there was nothing spectacular in it. But then the second album came out, the Chaos Theory Part 1, where I felt that, okay, now there are you guys doing, coming into your zone and keeping the wheel rolling. And now when I listen to this, and especially a track, I have to tell you, this track, Become the Enemy. Now this track clearly showcased how mature the band has, become, and the kind of songwriting. So I had to go back to this track called Enemy, from your first album, which has become like a setlist staple for you. And then I come and listen to Become the Enemy. It's really gives me a great feeling that here's a band who started the journey 9 years ago and now getting that perfectionist zone and getting things done very perfectly.
Well, thank you so much, man. I mean, it's funny because, being in a band is always such an evolutionary process. I think you're always trying to improve as a songwriter and as a producer and as a singer and a guitarist. And Enemy is a perfect example because we had a vision for that song, and we felt like I love our first album, The End of the Beginning, but we felt like our vision for that song was never really realized. And so when we were doing Awaken the Fire, we had an opportunity to really make it the kind of song we always felt that it should be.
Right.
And it was a really fun process because, as you say, it's been a staple of our live set, and it's been a fan favorite for a long time. And it was really fun to go back and make it as heavy and anthemic as we always wanted it to be, and also to incorporate the didgeridoo as well.
Right, like the music is the same, but not entirely same. I mean, there's a whole new title, there's a new verse, and there's a new energy, and that's what shines out on this track.
Thank you, man. Well, that means a lot. Thank you.
Cheers. Now, since 2005 till 2014, 9 years. I mean, from the last 3 years, in particular, you guys have gained a lot of momentum. I mean, having 2 successful singles, Love the Way You Hate Me and Wish You Well. Now they're everywhere on US mainstream rock, radio stations everywhere. these two tracks have been played, and then you have a backing of a label like Century Media. At this point of time, trust me, you must be feeling that you guys are probably having the most amazing days of your life.
Yeah, it's pretty surreal. We're just hugely grateful for the opportunity to get to make the music we love, and to have that being played on American radio, and to have that being played. Actually, I just heard that Love the Way You Hate Me is going to be played on the radio in Germany.
Awesome.
And also in the UK, and for us as a band, it's literally a dream come true to tour the world and to have your music be heard by millions of people. So we really feel so lucky.
Absolutely. I was playing the track on my station, and I heard a lot of people, telling, okay, what band is this? And we've not come across that. So that's like, a great feeling when a new band is always being discovered by fans, and that gives them a chance to, explore them even more. So I really hope that, most of the fans give a new life to this band, and explore this journey which you guys have started. So it'll really be great to see you guys evolve as musicians.
Thank you, man. Well, I gotta say how much we appreciate you playing our music and exposing all those new rock fans to it. We really do.
Oh, that's a job, because when we love something, we do that. If we don't love, of course we won't do it, isn't it? It's simple.
Well, thank you. I'm very grateful that you love it.
Perfect. Now, you went on a tour with Alter Bridge, like you said, and you have also done with Puddle of Mud, Drowning Pool, and and in Hell Yeah as well. So, how's been the experience of being on tour with the different kind of bands, and the vibe, the environment, the craziness of the crowd? How have you guys experienced so far?
It's been amazing, man. I mean, I feel like every band we've played with has taught us so much about, putting on a great show, and every band has, like, just their own strengths, Right. I think touring with Alter Bridge, sorry.
No problem.
Touring with Alter Bridge in particular, I feel like we learned so much from those guys. Mark Tremonti has always been one of my idols as a guitarist.
Oh,
and I feel like we learned so much from Alter Bridge about wanting to be a great band, and also they're just such great guys along with it. This Hell Yeah tour has been amazing. I mean, we're playing with Vinnie Paul from Pantera,
right?
Which for rock fans from New Zealand is just completely a dream come true. So it's we're really grateful for all the bands we've got to tour with, and I feel like we've learned a lot from all of them.
Absolutely. Now, Matt, when I talk about this album, I mean, you guys obviously would wanna tour everywhere. So is there any possibility of seeing you guys explore Europe, let's say this year, or maybe play a few festivals as well?
We'd love to, man. It's always been our dream to come and play some of those big European festivals.
Mm-hmm.
I know we're going to be in Europe in March and April. We have some shows with Black Veil Brides and also with Steel Panther.
Right.
And I think once we come to Europe, you won't be able to get rid of us. I think we'll just keep coming back again and again.
That's really glad to hear that. Now, before I conclude the interview, how about you define this new album, Awaken the Fire, in just one sentence?
That's a tough one.
That's the intention.
I would say, oh man, this is good. This is a good question. I don't know. What would you say?
What if I, as a fan, it's something like, for me, it would be, something that blew my mind away with the kind of freshness, that intriguity level on your tracks. I would say something like that. But of course, you as a musician, you as a creator, should give me a better answer.
I don't know. That was a pretty good answer.
Well, you can sum it up in your own way. You know, you being the mastermind. It's all. The ball is in your court.
I know. I'd say for any fans of hard rock who are interested in what rock music sounds like when you combine it with a didgeridoo and Delta blues.
Fantastic, Matt. It was an honor having a chat with you all the way from New Zealand. And right here, I'm analyzing how you guys will go forward. I really look forward and I wish you all the best for whatever you guys do in future. And thank you very much once again for doing this interview.
Oh, it's my pleasure, man. Thanks so much for your kind words, and thanks for taking the time to talk to me.